Excuse me, everyone. Attention, please. Attention, attention. Hello. Welcome to The Globe. I am your host and performer tonight, Isaac Anzu, the chillest and chilliest chimera on the internet. And I'm happy to say that tonight we are going to be offering a full performance of the Shakespearean classic, Romeo and Juliet. A few things you should know about this performance. We are raising money for the PCRF. It's a very good charity, Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We've got plenty of awesome goals and rewards for those who donate during the performance, which are listed below. For $5, you can pick a side character, and I will change their name for the duration of the play. For $10, you can change Romeo or Juliet's name to whatever you prefer. And for $25, we will stop the play and do a reading request. Can't be too long. And I am going to have to say, I put the final approval on all name changes and reading requests. But we do ask that you remain quiet during the performance. So we've enabled emote only mode for this chat. And if you do need to make a request, then the highlight my message redeem will still function. Exits are located either to the top left or top right of the theater, clearly marked by an X. And refreshments are available at your discretion. Please remain quiet during the performance, and feel free to follow along on the on-screen playbook. Now, if you'll excuse me for just a second, I have to go do something real quick, and then we are going to start the performance. So, I'll be right back. Start the music. Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Act 1, Prologue. Two households, both awake in dignity, in fair Verona, where we weigh our scene. From ancient grudge, break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their wife, whose misadventured piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' wage, which but their children's end naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil strive to mend. Scene 1, Verona, a public place. Enter Samson and Gregory of the house Capuet, armed with swords and bucklers. Samson. Gregory, oh my word, will not carry coals. Gregory. No, for then we shall be colliers. Samson. I mean, and we be in Coa, we'll draw. Gregory. Aye, while you live, draw your neck out the Coa. Samson. I strike quickly, being moved. Gregory. But thou art not quickly moved to strike. A dog of the house Montague moves me. To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away. A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's. That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall. True, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Ooh. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall. The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men. 'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids and cut off their heads. The heads of the maids? Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take in it what sense thou wilt. They must take it in sense that feel it. Me they shall feel when I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh. 'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house Montagues. My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee. How? Turn thy back and one? Fear me not. No, Mary, I fear thee. Let us take the wall of our sides. Let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Nay, as they dare. I will bite my tongue at them, which is a disgrace to them, if they bear it. Enter Abraham and Balthazar. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? I do bite my thumb, sir. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Is the law of our side if I say aye? No. No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir. But I bite my thumb, sir. Do you quarrel, sir? Quarrel, sir? No, sir. If you do, sir, I am for you, sir. I serve as good as man as you. No better? Well, sir. Say better, here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Yes, better, sir. You lie. Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy slashing bow. They fight. Enter Benvolio.
Depart, fools! Put up your swords! You know not what you do! Beats down their swords. Enter Tybalt. What, art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death. I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me. What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward. They fight. Enter several of both houses who join the fray. Then enter citizens with clubs. First citizen. Clubs, bills, and partisans, strike, beat them down. Down with the Capuets, down with the Montagues. Enter Capuet in his gown, and Lady Capuet. What noise is this? Give me my longsword, ho! A crutch! Why call you for a sword? My sword, I say. Old Montague has come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Enter Montague and Lady Montague.
Thou villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Thou shalt not stir foot to seek a foe.
Enter the prince with attendants. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, will they not heal? What ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture, from these bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capuet and Montague, have twice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their graves beseeming ornaments, to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives will pay with the forfeit of the peace. For now, all the West depart away. You, Capuet, shall go along with me, and you, Montague, come you this afternoon, to know our further pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart. Exeunt all, but Montague, Lady Montague, and Benvolio.
Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Speak, nephew. Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head, and cut the winds, who nothing hurt, would all hissed him in scorn. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more, fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worship sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward rooteth from the city side, so early waking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, that most are busied when they're most alone, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But also soon the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed. Away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks far daylight out, and makes himself an artificial knight. Black and portentous must this humour prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affection's counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere can he spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sowers grow, we would willingly give cure as we know.
Enter Romeo. See where he comes, so please you, step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shift. Come, madam, what's away?
Exeunt Montague and Lady Montague. Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out
Of love?
out of her favor, where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gently in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what flavors here! Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here is much to do with hate, but more with love. Why, oh, then, oh, brawling love, oh, loving hate, oh, anything of nothing first create. Oh, heavy whiteness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos in well-seeking forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sweep. That is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed. With more of thine, this love that thou hast shown, doth add more grief to much of mine own. Love is a smoke raised with fumes of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes. Being vexed to see nourished with lovers' tears, what is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I will go along. And if I weave you so, weave me, and if you weave me so, you do me wrong.
Tuh, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other whale.
Tell me, in sadness, who is it that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why, no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Ah, word ill urged to one that is ill, so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A white good markman, and she's fair I love.
A white fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed, from love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her wap to sate seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor,
that when she dies with beauty, dies her star. Then she hath sworn that she will live chaste. She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty starved with her severity cuts beauty off from our posterity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead that live to tell it now. Be ruled by me, forget to think of her. Oh, teach me how I should forget to think. By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties. 'Tis the way, to call hers exquisite, in question more these happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows. Being black put us in mind they hide the fair. He that is stricken blind cannot forget that precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note? Where may I read who passed that passing fair? Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget. I'll pay that doctrine, or else die in debt. Exeunt. Scene 2. A street. Enter Capulet, Paris, and servant. But Montague is bound as well as I, in penalty awake, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace. Of honourable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived so at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit? But saying all what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in this world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride. Younger than she, our happy mother's maid. And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes but she. She is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. By my will to her consent is but a part. And she agree within the scope of her choice? Wise my consent, and fair according voice. This night I hold an accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest. Such as I love, and you among the store, one more most welcome makes my number more. At my poor house, look to behold this night earth-treading stars that make the dark heaven white. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel when well-apparelled April on the heel of wimping water treads, even such delight among fresh female buds shall you see this night. Inherit at my house, hear all, see all, and like her most whose merit shall be, which on more view, of many mine being one, may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Come, go with me. To servant giving a paper. Go, sirrah, towards about, through fair Verona. Find those persons out, whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome, on their pleasure stay. Exeunt, Capulet, and Paris. Find them out whose names are written here. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his wast, and the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his nets. But I am sent to find those persons whose names are here writ, and I can never find what names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned in good time. Enter Benvolio and Romeo. Tut, man! One fire burns out another's burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn giddy, and be holp by backwards turning. One desperate grief cures but another's wanguish. Take thou some new infection to thy eye, and the wank poison of the old will die. Your point in grief is excellent for that. For what, I pray thee? For your broken shin. Why, Romeo, art thou mad? Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and God then, good fellow. Godden, I pray, sir, can you read? I mine own fortune in my misery. Perhaps you have learned it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see? I, if I know the weathers and the language. Ye say honestly, rest you merry. Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Montino and his wife and daughters, County Anselme and his beauteous sisters, the weighty widow of Vitavia, Signor Placinto and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come? Up. Whither? To supper. Our house. Whose house? My master's. Indeed. I should have asked you that before. Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great witch Capulet, and if you be not of house of Montagues, I pray, come and quash a quap of wine. Rest you merry. Exit. Benvolio. At this same ancient feast of Capulet's supps the fair Rosaline, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattained eye compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a quo. When the devout religion of mine eye maintained such falsehood, then turned tears to fires, and these, who often drowned could never die, transparent heretics be burnt for wires. One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun never saw her match since first the world began. Tut! You saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid. That I will show you shining at this feast, and she shall scant show well that now shows best. I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of my own. Excellent. Scene 3, a room in Capulet's house. Enter Lady Capulet and nurse. Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me. Now, by my maidenhead, at 12 years old, I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid. Where's this girl? What Juliet? Enter Juliet. Oh, now, who calls? Your mother? Madam, I am here. What is your will? This is the matter. Nurse, give weave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I remembered me. Thou hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter of a pretty age. Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour. She's not 14. I'll weigh 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teeth it be spoken I have but 4. She is not 14. How long is it now to Wamistide? A fortnight and odd days. Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Wammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, oh God rest all Christian souls, were of age. Well, Susan is with God, she was too good for me. But, as I said, on Wammas Eve at night shall she be 14, that shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I shall never forget it. Of all the days of the year upon that day, for I had then laid wormwood on my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall, my ward and you were then at Mantua. Nay, do I bear a brain? But, as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and it felt bitter, pretty full to see it tetchy and fall out with the dug. Shake quoth the dove house 'twas no need, I trow to bid me trudge,
And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone. Nay, by the wood, she had run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her bow, and then my husband, God be with his soul, I was a merry man, took up the child. Yeah, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thine face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou hast more wit. Will thou not, Julie? And by my holidame, that pretty wench wept crying and said, Aye. To see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Julie? Quoth he, and pretty fool, it stinted and said, Aye.
Enough of this. I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh. To think that it should leave crying and say aye, and yet I warrant had upon its brow a bump as big as a young cockwell stone, a power stock, and it quite bitterly. Yeah, quoth my husband, fallst thou upon my face? Thou wilt fall backwards when thou comest to an age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? It stinted, and said aye.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe I ever nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme of what I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of. An honor? Were I not thine only nurse, I would say thou hast sucked wisdom from that teat.
Well, think of marriage now, younger than you. Here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers, by my account. Why was your mother rich upon these years that you are now a maid? Thus, then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady. Waiting such a man as all the world. Why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not seen such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read over the volume of young Paris's face, and find the white wit there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another reads content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him, only wax a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many eyes doth share the glory that in gold Quasp walks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger, woman woe by men.
Speak briefly. Can you wake of Paris's love?
I'll look to wake, if looking wake move, but no more deep will I indart mine eye than to your consent gives me strength to make it fly.
Enter a servant.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up, you're called, my young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait, I beseech you, follow straight.
We shall follow thee.
Exit servant.
Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights to happy days.
Exeunt.
Scene 4, a street. Enter Romeo, Mercutio, Benvolio, with 5 or 6 maskers, torchbearers, and others. What, shall we this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we go on without an apology? The date is out of such proximity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with the scarf, bearing a tortoise painted bow of wrath, scouring the ladies with like a quo keeper, no, without book prologue. Fate we spoke after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone. Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the white. Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance. Not I, believe me. You will have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move. You are a wovel. Borrow keepers' wings, and soar with them above a common bound. I am too sore and pierced with his shaft, to soar above with his white feathers, so bound. I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe, under love's heavy burden do I sink. And to sink it, you should burden love, too great a passion for a tender thing. Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn. If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor for a visor. What care I, what curious eye doth quote deformities? Here are the beetle brows shall blush for me. Come, knock and enter, no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs. A torch for me, what wantons white of heart tickled senseless rushes with their heels. For I am proverbed with a grandchild phase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was now so fair, and I am done. Tut, tut, duns the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire of this sir reverence love, where thou stickst up to thine ears. Come, we burn daylight. Ho! Nay, that's not so. I mean so, in the way, we waste our lights in vain, and like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment what sits 5 times in their ear, in 5 times in that, ere once in our 5 wits. And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go. Why, may one ask? I dreamed a dream tonight. And so did I. Well, what was yours? The dreamers often lie. In bed asleep, while they do dream things true. Oh, then, I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies, athwart men's noses as they wire sweep. Her wagon spokes made of long spiders' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the colors of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagon is a small gray-coated gnat, not so big as a wound with a worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind, the fairies' coachmakers. And in the state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Or courters' knees that dream on courtesy's sight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees. Or a lady's lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues. Because their breaths with sweetments tainted are, sometimes she gallops over a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling at a suit, and sometimes she comes with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as it lies asleep, and then dreams of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth over a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of health 5 fathoms deep, and then anon drums his ears, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very mob that plights the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns for them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she. Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing. True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy. which is as thin as substance as the air, and more inconsistent than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his face to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done. We shall come to wait.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly upon his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised wife closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hail the stewards of my course direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen.
Strike drum.
Exeunt. Scene 5. A hall in Capulet's house. Musicians waiting. Enter servingmen with napkins. Where's Potpan, that he not helps to take away? He shift a twencher, he'd scrape a twencher. When good manners shall lie in all 1 or 2 men's hands, and they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing. Away with the joint jewels. Remove the quart cupboard. Look to the plate. Good thou, serve me a piece of marchpane. And thou, as thou lovest me, let the porter in Susan, Grindstone, and Nell, Anthony, and Potpan.
Aye, boy, ready.
You are looked for and called for, asked for and sought for in the great chamber. Oh, we cannot be here and there too. Do we, boys? Be brisk a while, and longer liver take all. Enter Capulet, with Juliet and others of his house, meeting the guests and maskers.
Welcome, gentlemen, ladies, and those that have their toes unplagued with corns will have a bout with you. Ha ha, my mistress, which of you will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I swear, hath corns. Am I come near ye now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, give room, and foot it, girls. Music plays, and they dance. More white, you knaves, and turn the tables up, and quench the fire. The room has grown too hot. Ah, sirrah, this unworked for sport comes well. Nay, sit, good cousin Capulet. For you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it now since last yourself and I were in a mask?
By a lady, 30 years.
What, man? 'Tis not so much. Since the nuptials of Lucentio. Come, Pentecost, as quickly as it'll come. Some 25 years, and then we masked.
'Tis more. His son is elder, sir. His son is 30.
Will you tell me that? His son was but a ward 2 years ago.
What lady is that, which doth enwitch the hand of yonder knight? I do not, sir. Oh, doth she teach the torches to burn bright? It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a witch jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for us to use. For earth too dear. So shows the snowy dove trooping with the crows, as yonder lady over her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my wooed hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear at sight, for I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. Who dares the slave come hither, covered with an antic face, to flee and scorn at our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore stormed you so? Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a Tybalt that is hither come in spite, to scorn at our solemnity this night. Young Romeo, is it? 'Tis he, that villain Romeo. Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say the truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not, for the wealth of all the town here in my house, do him disparagement. Therefore, be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect, to show a fair presence and put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast. It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him. He shall be endured. What, goodman boy, I say he shall. So go to. Am I the master here, or you? Go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a mutiny among my guests. You'll set a cock-a-hoop. You'll be the man. Why, uncle, 'tis shame. Go to, go to. You are a saucy boy. It's so indeed. This quick may come chance to seek gaith you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my hearts. You are pringcocks. Go. Be quiet, or more white for shame. I'll make you quiet. What's cheer we, my hearts? Patience, perforce, with willful meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greeting. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall now seeming sweet convert to bitter gall.
Exit.
Romeo to Juliet. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, this gentle fine as this, my whip's two blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much. Which mannerly devotion shows in this? For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Have not saints whips and holy palmers too? Aye, pilgrim, whips that they must use in prayer. Oh, then, dear saint, what whips do what hands do? They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, they'll grant for prayer's sake. Then move not, will my prayers' effects I take. Thus from my whips by yours my sin is purged. Then have my whips the sin that they took. Sin from thy whips, O trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again. You kiss by the book. Madam, your mother craves a word with you. What is her mother? Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked with thou. I should tell you that he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks. Is she a Capuet? Oh, dear Count, my wife is my foe's debt. Away, begone, the sport is at best. Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then, I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. More torches here. Come on then, let's to bed. Sirrah, by my fray, it waxes the weight. All to my west.
Exeunt all but Juliet and nurse. Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman? The son and heir of old Tiberio. What's he that now is going out the door? Marry that, I think he be young Petruchio. What's he that follows there that would not dance? I know not. Go ask his name, if he be married. My grave is like to be my wedding bed. His name is Romeo, a Montague, and the only son of your great enemy. My only love sprung from my only hate. Oh, too early seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love is to me, that I must love a woven enemy. What's this? What's this? A wine I wound even now, of one I danced withal. One calls within, Juliet. Anon, anon. Come, what's away? The strangers are all gone. Exeunt. Act 2. Prologue. Enter chorus. Now old desire doth in his deathbed why, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, awake bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foes supposed he must complain, and she steals love's sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear. And she, as much as what in love, who means much less, to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion wins them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet. Exit. Scene 1. Away by the wall of Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo. Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out. He climbs the wall and leaps down within it. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio. Romeo, my cousin Romeo. He is wise, and on my lie hath stolen him home to bed. He ran this way and wept the orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio. Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humors, madman, passion, lover, appearest thou in the whiteness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry, but I me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word, one nickname for her pure-blind son and heir, young Adam Cupid, he that shot so twim. When King Copuheta loved the beggar maid, he heareth not, he stilleth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and the quivering thigh, and the demons that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us. And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him. Well, this cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress's circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand till she had weighed it and conjured it down, that there was some spite, and my invocation is fair and honest, and in his mistress's name I conjure only but to raise him up. Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark. If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree, and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were an open etc. Thou a purpurine pale. Romeo, good night. I'll come to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sweep. Come, shall we go? Go then. For 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found. Exeunt. Scene 2. Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo. He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Juliet appears above at the window. But soft, what white blue yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art fair, more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious, her vestal rivalry is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven having some business to entreat her eyes, to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through this airy region stream so bright, that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she weans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. Ay me. She speaks. Oh, speak again, boy angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides that wazy pacing cloud and sails upon the bosom of the air. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capuet. Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this? 'Tis but thy name that is mine enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's a Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself. I take thee at thy word. Call me but love. I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo. Greetings, Hikawi Sentinel and friends. Please take your seats. We're in the middle of a play. What man art thou that thus besqueened in night so stumblest on my counsel? By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tell the word. My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, and yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague? Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike. How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here. With love's white wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits can not hold love out. And what love can do that dares love attempt, therefore my kinsmen are no wet to me. If they do see thee, they will murder thee. Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look but thou sweet, and I am proof against their enmity. I would not for the world they saw thee here. I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight. And but thou love me, and let them find me here, my wife were better ended by their hate, than death prolonged, wanting of thy love. By whose discretion foundst thou out this place? By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He went me counsel, and I went him eyes. I am no pirate, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I would adventure for such merchandise. Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain would I dwell on form, fain deny. What have I spoke? But farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. At lovers' perjuries, then say, Jove, they say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Oh, if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So wilt thou woo. But else, not for the world, in truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my havel light.
But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those who have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst ere I was ware. My true love's passion, therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding wight to love, for which the dark night hath so discovered. Weighty by yonder blessed moon, I swear, that tips the silver with all these fruit tree tops. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love,
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like whitening, which doth cease to be, ere one can say, it whitens. Sweet good night, this bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, as sweet repose and rest come to thine heart, as that within my breast. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
the exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, I give it thee again, and yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love is deep, the more I give to thee. The more I have, for both are infinite.
Nurse calls from within.
I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse, sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again. Exit above. Oh, blessed, blessed night, I am afield. Being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
We enter Juliet above.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of marriage be honorable, if that bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow. By one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my ward, throughout the world. Madam! I coming on. But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee, Madam! By and by I come, to cease thy suit, to weave me to my grief, tomorrow will I send. So thrive my soul. 1,000 times good night. Exit above. Welcome, 7th Vampire. We're in the middle of a play here, so please take your seats and we'll continue with the play. 1,000 times the worse to want thy white. Love goes towards love, as schoolboys form their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks. Retires. We enter Juliet above. Hist, Romeo, hist! Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this gentle tassel back again. Bondage is hoarse, and I may not speak aloud, else I would tear the cave where echo wise, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo's name. It is my soul that calls upon thy name. How silver sweet lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears. Romeo, my dear, at what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee? At the hour of 9. I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back. Let me stand here till thou remember it. I shall forget to have thee still stand here, remembering how I love thy company. And I'll still stay to have thee still forgetting any other home but this. 'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird,
who let it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty. I would, thy bird. Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I should say good night till it be morrow. Exit above. Sweep thou well upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I was sweep in peace, so sweet to west. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave, and my dear hap to tell. Exit. Scene 3. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence with a basket. Well, the gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checking the eastern clouds with streaks of white, and fleck darkness like a drunkard wheels from 4 days' path and Titan's fiery heels. Now ere the sun advances burning eye, the day to cheer and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this oyster cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juice flowers. The earth that nature's mother is her tomb, what is her burying grave, that is her womb. And from her womb, children of divers kind, we sucking on her natural bosom find. Many for such virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile on that earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor aught so good but strained from that fair use, revolts from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turns vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant wine of this small flower, poison hath resistance and medicine power. For this being smelt, that which pot cheers each pot, being tasted sways all senses with the heart. Two such opposed kings encamp them still, in man as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worst is predominant, full soon the cankered death eats up that plant. Enter Romeo. Good morrow, father. Benedictine. What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid thy good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care watches, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth quench his whims, there golden sleep doth wane. Therefore, thy earliness doth me assure, thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hear white, a Romeo hath not been in bed tonight. That last is true. The sweeter west was mine. God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosalind? With Rosalind? My ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name, and that name's woe. Oh, that's good, my son. But where hast thou been, then? I'll tell thee ere thou askest me again. I have been feasting on mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me. That's by me wounded. Both are remedies, within thy help and holy physic wise. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for woe. My intercession likewise steads my foe. Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Whittling confession finds but whittling shrift. Then plain we know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of which Capuet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And by all combined, save what thou must combine, by holy marriage, when and where and how we meet, we wooed and made a stranger vow. And I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today. Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou did love so dear, so soon forsaken?
young men's love then lies truly not in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesse Maria, what a deal of brine hast washed thy sallow cheeks for rose of wine. How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that it did not taste, that of it not, doth not taste? The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Hello. Woe, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself in the woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce the sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men. Greetings, Bakahana Kamini. Please, still doing the southern accent. Please, take your seat and enjoy the show. Thou chidest me off for loving Rosaline, for doting, not for loving, pupil mine, and bates me barely love, not in a grave to weigh one in, another out to have. I pray thee, chide not, she whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love a while. The other did not so. Oh, she knew well, thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love. Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste. Wisely and slow, they stumble that one fast. Excellent. Scene 4, a street. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio. Ah, welcome, Sneaky Bear and friends. We're in the middle of a play right now, so if you could find your seats and enjoy the show. We are starting on Act 2, Scene 4. Enter Benvolio and Mercutio. Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight? Not to his father's. I spoke with this man. Ah, that same pale-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad. Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capuet, hath sent a letter to his father's house. A challenge on my wife. Romeo will answer it. Any man that can write may answer a letter. Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares, being dared. Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bowboy's butt shaft. And he is a man to encounter Tybalt? Why, what is Tybalt? More than a prince of cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. Wests me with his minimum west. 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the high. The what? The pox of such antic, wisping, affecting fantasticos, of these new tuners by accents. By Jesu, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why, this is not a lamentable thing, grandsire, that we should be thus afflicted by these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these predominamois, who stand so much under a new form that they cannot be at ease on this old bench. Oh, their bones, their bones! Enter Romeo. Ah, here comes Romeo, here comes Romeo! Without his woe, like a dried herring. Flesh, flesh, how thou art fishified. Now he is for the numbers that Petrarch flowed in. Laura to his lady was but a kitchen wench. Mary she had a better love to bewime her. Dido a dowry, Cleopatra a gypsy, Helen and Hero hidings and harlots, Thisbe a grey eye or so, but not to the purpose. Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French swap. You give us counterfeit fairy last night. Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The ship, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may swain courtesy.
That's as much to say. Such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition?
Nay, I'm the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower?
Right.
Why, then is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me in this jest now till thou hast worn out thy pump.
When the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after wearing the soul singular. O single soul jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint.
Switching spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Nay, if thy wits won thy wild goose chase, I have done.
For thou hast more of the wild goose in one thine wits, man, I am sure. I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there? For the goose? Thou wast never with me for anything when thou wast not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is very bitter sweeting.
It is a most sharp sauce. And is it not well served into a sweet goose? Oh, here's a wit of Chevreul that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad. I stretch it out for that word broad, which, added to the goose, proves thee far and wide a broad goose. Why, is this not now better than groaning for love? Thou art now sociable. Thou art now Romeo. Now art thou what thou art, by art as well as nature. For this dwindling love is like a great natural that runs walling up and down to hide his bubble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair?
Thou wouldst else have made thy tail large.
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I was come to the whole depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's a good wig ear.
Enter nurse and Peter.
A sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and smock.
Peter.
Anon.
My fan, Peter.
Good Peter to hide her face, for the fan's the fairer face.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good morrow, then, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good, then?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you!
One gentlewoman that God had made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said for himself to mar.
Quoth A.
Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you saw him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yea, what is the worst well? Very well took, in faith, wisely. If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
A bard, so ho. What hast thou found? No hare, sir, unless a hare, sir, in a Lenten pie or something that stale and o'er ere it be spent.
An old hare whore, and an old hare whore is very good meat in Lent, but a hare that is whore is too much for a score when it whores ere it be spent.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady, farewell. Singing.
Weighty, weighty, weighty.
Exunt Mercutio und Benvolio.
Marry, farewell, I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this, so full of his whopery?
A gentleman, fair nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And I speak against anything against me. I take him down,
and were his wustier than he is, and 20 such jacks, and if I cannot, I shall find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I am none of his flirt gills, I am none of his skein mates, and thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure. I saw no man use you a pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out, I warrant you. I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion in a good quarrel, and the law on my side. Now, for God, I'm so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave, I pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady had bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell ye, if you should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you would deal double with her, truly, it would be an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and a very weak dealing. Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee, good heart, and in faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman. What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Dost thou not mock me? I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer. Bid her devise some means to come to Swift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains. No, truly, sir, not a penny. Go to, I say you shall. This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there. And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall, within this hour my man shall be with thee, and wing thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress. Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir. What sayest thou, my dear nurse?
Hello.
Hello, Quendel, if you could keep it down in the back there, thank you. We're in the middle of a play. Is your man secret? Did you never hear say two may keep counsel put and one away? I warrant thee, my man's as true as steel. Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady. Ward, when 'twas a widow plain thing, there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife abroad, but she, good soul, had as lief see a toad, a very toad as see him. I anger her sometimes and tell her that Paris is the proper man, but I warrant you, when I say so, she looks as pale as any cow would in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo begin both with a letter? I, nurse, what are that? Both begin with R? Ah, mocker. That's the dog's name. R's for the... no, it begins with some other letter. She hath the prettiest intations of it, you and Rosemary, and that it would do you good to hear it. Commend me to thy lady. Aye, 1,000 times. Exit Romeo. Peter! Anon. Peter, take my fan and go before and apace. Exeunt. Scene 5. Capulet's orchard. Enter Juliet. Enter Juliet. Juliet. The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's heralds should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she has not come. Had she affections in warm youthful blood, she would as swift as motion as a ball. My words would bandy to her my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many feign as though they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes.
Enter nurse and Peter.
Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate. Exit Peter.
Now, good sweet nurse, O Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I'm a-weary. Give me leave a while. By how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
Wouldst thou had my bones, and I thy news? Nay, come, I pray thee, speak, good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I'm out of breath?
How art thou out of breath, when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale that thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll state the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you've made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his wig excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they may not be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I warn him, as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench. Serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No. But all this I did before. All this I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as if it were falling 20 pieces. My back up the other side. Oh, my back. My back. What is this? What was that? Excuse me? What is that? The music just did something weird. Freaky. Oh well. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
In faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous and a kind and a handsome, and I want a virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforth, forward do your messages yourself.
Here's a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Swift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way. To fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest as soon as it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight. But you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, all to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Juliet. Hie to fortune. Honest farewell. Honest nurse, farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence and Romeo. So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours will sorrow chide us not. Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words. Then, love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough. I may but call her mine. These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is wholesome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately, long love doth so, too swift a wife's as tardy as too slow. Enter Juliet. Here comes the waiting. Oh, so white a foot will never wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall, so white is vanity. Good even to my ghostly confessor. Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both. As much to him as his thanks too much. Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this naval air, and wet with music's tongue, unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter. Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love has grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth. Come with me. We will make short work. But for your weaves, you two shall not stay alone till Holy Church incorporate two in one. Exit. Act 2. I'm kind of curious. Just a moment. Romeo and Juliet. Acts. The play is split into 5 acts. Act 1, 3, and 4 have 5 scenes. Act 2 has 6 scenes. Act 5 has 3 scenes. A total of 24 scenes. So if we have done we've done 16 of 24 scenes. No, that can't be right. We've done 11 of 24 scenes. Got it. Because we just started Act 3. Okay. Scene 1. A public place. Enter Mercutio, Benvolio, page, and servants. I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulet's abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring. Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters upon the confines of a tavern, claps me with his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee, and by the operation of the second cup, draws it on the drawer, when indeed there was no need. Am I like such a fellow? Come, thou art as hot as a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and so as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved. And what two? Nay, and there were 2 such, as we should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou wilt quarrel with a man that had a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for quacking nuts, having no other reason, but because thou hast hazel eyes. What eye, but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy head is as fond of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, and yet thy head has but been beaten as addle as an egg for quarreling. Thou hast quarrelled with a man for quaffing in the sweet, because he hath wakened thy dog that had lain asleep in the sun. Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, with another for tying his new shoes with old riband? Yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling. And were I so apt to quarrel with thou art, as thou art, any man should buy the fee simple for my wife for an hour and a quarter. Fee simple, oh simple. By my head, here come the Capulets. By my heel, I care not. Enter Tybalt and the others. Follow me close, for I will speak with them. Gentlemen, good den, a word with one of you.
and but one word with one of us? Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow. You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, as you will give me an occasion. Could you not take some occasion without giving? Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo. Consort, what, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou makes minstrels of us. Look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Sounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly with thy grievances, or else depart. Here our eyes gaze upon us.
Men's eyes were not made to look. Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I. Enter Romeo. Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. But I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery. Marry, go before to field. He'll be your follower, your worship. In that sense, you may call him man. Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain. Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining wage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore, farewell. I see thou knowest me not. Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw. But I do protest, I have never injured thee. But love thee better than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason for my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tendered as dearly as my own, be satisfied. Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Our stoker carries it away. Draws. Tybalt, you wrath catcher, will you walk? What wouldst thou have with me? Good king of cats, nothing more but one of your 9 wives, that I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, do I beat the rest of the 8? Will you pluck your sword out of his pitcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out. I am for you. Drawing. Gentle Mercutio, put thy vapour up. Come, sir, you're passando. They fight. Draw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio. Tybalt, under Romeo's arm, stabs Mercutio and flies with his followers. Oh, I am hurt. A plague on both your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and had nothing? What art thou hurt? I, a scratch. Marry, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain. Fetch a surgeon. Exit page. Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much. No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough 'twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you will find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses. Sounds, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to squatch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm. I thought it all for the best. Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses! Excellent Mercutio and Benvolio. This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman. O sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in thy temper softened vows steel. We enter Benvolio.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. that gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which to one time we here did scorn the earth. This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe, others must end. Here comes the furious Tybalt back again, alive in triumph, and Mercutio's swain, away to heaven, respective wenity and fire-wide fury be my conduct now. Re-enter Tybalt. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, that weight thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a whit away above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou, or I, or both, must go with him.
Thou wretched boy, that thou did consort him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
They fight. Tybalt falls.
Romeo, away, begone. The citizens are up and Tybalt's slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death, if thou art here taken. Hence, begone away. Oh, I am fortune's fool. Why dost thou say? Exit Romeo. Enter Sidians, etc.
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio, Tybalt that murderer? Which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge thee in the prince's name. Obey.
Enter Prince, attended, Montague, Capulet, and their wives, and others. Where are the vile beginners of this fray? Oh, hello, kitchen. Welcome. We're in the middle of the play here. Romeo has just slain Tybalt. If you could, please enjoy the play, take your seats, and do try to stay quiet. O noble prince, I can discover all, the unlucky manage of this fateful brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo, that slew thine kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin, oh, my brother's child, oh, prince, oh, cousin, husband, oh, the blood spilt, oh, my dear kinsman, prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague, oh, cousin, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray? Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did sway. Romeo had that time spoken him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truth with the unruly spleen of Tybalt deaf to peace. But he that tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who all as hot turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold, friends, part. And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm, an envious thrust from Tybalt, hit the wife of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw them to part, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all 20 could kill but one wife. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now doth the price of his dear blood doth owe. Not Romeo, prince, he was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end, the wife of Tybalt. And for that offense, immediately do we exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll immerse you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears, nor prayers shall pursue out abuses. Therefore, use none. what Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murderers, pardoning those that kill. Exeunt. Scene 2, Capuet's orchard. Enter Juliet. Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, toward Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Paphion would whip you to the west, and wing in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy curtain close, love-performing night, that one-away's eyes may wink, and Romeo weep to those arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rights by their own beauties. Oh, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood, my unmanned blood, bating in my cheeks, within thy black mantle, till strange love, grown bold, think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed, so tedious is this day, as is the night some festival to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Welcome, Lord Voldemort. Please take your seat, enjoy the show, and feel free to make gestures and emotes, but keep it quiet. Enter nurse with cords. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch? I, the cords? Throws them down. Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands? Well a day. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead. We are undone, lady, we are undone. A whack the day, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead. Can heaven be so envious? Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, who would have ever thought it? Romeo. What devil art thou that dost to torment me thus? This torture should be warred in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou but I, and that their foul eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of cockatrice. I am the eye, if there be such an eye. Or those eyes shut that make the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine of my weal or woe. I saw the wound, I saw with mine eyes. God save the mark, here on his manly breast. A piteous course, a bloody piteous course. Pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood. All in gore blood, I swooned at the sight. Oh, break my heart, poor bankrupt, break at once. To prison, eyes now look on liberty. Vile earth, to earth resign. End motion here, and now, and Romeo plus one heavy bier. Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever shall I live to see thee dead. What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered? And is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin, and my dear award? Then dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone? Tybalt is gone. And Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished. Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood? It did, alas a day it did. Oh serpent heart, hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a cave?
beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, dove-feathered raven, wolfish ravening lamb, despised substance of divinest show, just opposite to what thou justly seemed, a damned saint, an honorable villain. O nature, what hast thou to do in hell, when thou did the spirit of a fiend in moral paradise such sweet flesh? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace! There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. I'll perjured, I'll forsworn, I'll for not, I'll dissemblers. Where's my man? Give me some aqua vitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo. Twisted be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born in shame. Upon his brow is a shame to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned. Sole monarch of the universal earth, oh, what a beast I was to chide at him. Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin? Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Ah, poor my ward, what tongue shall sue thy name, when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, did thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops to belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. My husband lives. That Tybalt should be have slain, and Tybalt's dead, that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was worse than Tybalt's death, that murdered me. I would forget it fain. But oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished, has slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough, if it had ended there. Or if sour woe delights in fellowship, and needly will it be wanked with other griefs. Why followed not when she said Tybalt's dead, thy father or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentations might have moved? The fuck is happening with the music? What the fuck was happening with the music? Sorry. Weird scuff. VLC is trying to play things that I don't want it to play. I don't understand. What about if I do this? Okay, maybe that's the problem. It's trying to play everything. Let's try this. But with a weird word following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word, its father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit, no measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father, and my mother, and my nurse? Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither. Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent, when theirs are dry, for Romeo's banishment. Take up these cords, perhaps you are beguiled. Both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed, but I, a maid, thy maiden widowed. Come, cords, come, nurse, out to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head. Hide in your chamber, I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. I'll to him. He is hid in Lawrence's cell. Oh, find him, give this ring to my true knight, and bid him to come to take his last farewell. Exeunt. Scene 3, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence's. Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity. Enter Romeo. Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that yet I know not? Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom. What worse than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentle judgment vanished from his lips. Nope, not by his death, but by his banishment. Banishment. Be merciful. Say death. For exile hath much tale in his look. Much more than death. Do not say banishment. Hence from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide. There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death mistermed, calling death banishment. Thou cuttest my head off with a golden axe, and smilest upon the stroke that murders me. Oh, deadless sin! Oh, rude unthankfulness! Thy fault calls out loud death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath brushed aside the law, and turned that black word death into banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not. 'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse and every unworthy thing lives here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the outright wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips, who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as thinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Flies may do this, but from this I may fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And sayst thou yet exile is not death? Hast thou no poison mixed, no sharp knife ground, no sudden mean of death, though now so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished? O flyer, the damned use of that word in hell, how wings attended? How hast thou the heart, being a divine ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed to mangle me with that word banished? Thou fond madman, hear me but speak a word. Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment. I'll give thee armor to keep off that word. Adversity, sweet milk, philosophy, to comfort thee, though art thou banished. Yet banished, hang up philosophy, unless philosophy can make a Juliet. Displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more. Oh, I see that madmen have no ears. How should they, that wise men have no eyes? Let me dispute thee of thy estate. Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. What thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting me. Oh, thanks for the follow, Jango of the Junes. Sorry for interrupting the play. We are in the middle of a very important scene. Thank you for the follow. Please find your seat and enjoy the show. Doting like me and then banished, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave, knocking within. Arise. What knocks, good Romeo? Hide thyself. Not I. Unless the breath of heartsick groans, mist-like, enfold me from the search of eyes. Knocking. Hark how they knock. Who's there? Romeo, arise. Thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Stand up. Knocking. One to my study. By and by. God's will. What simpleness is this? I come. Knocking. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will? Well, let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet. Welcome then. Enter nurse. Oh, holy friar. Oh, tell me, holy friar. Where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo? There on the ground with his own tears made drunk. Oh, he is even in my mistress's case, just in her case. Oh, woeful sympathy. Prettiest predicament. Even so wise she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand you and be a man, for Juliet's sake, for her sake. Rise and stand. Why should you fall so deep and oh? Nurse. Sir. Well, that's the end of it. Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer, now that I have stained the childhood of our joy, with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she, and how doth she? What says she, my concealed lady, to our cancelled love? Oh, she said nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on the bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then our Romeo cries, and then falls down again. As if that name shot from the dead wee level of a gun did murder her, as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me, that I may sack the hateful mention, drawing his sword. Hold thy desperate hand! Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts do no unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman and a seemly man, or ill beseeming beast and seeming both. Thou hast amazed me by my holy order. I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself? And stay thy way too that lives in thee, by doing damned hate upon thyself, while railst thou upon thy birth, the heaven and the earth? Since birth and heaven and earth all three do meet, in three at once. In thee at once, which thou at once would lose. Fire, thou shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which, like an usurer, abounds in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax, digressing from the valor of a man. Thy dear love, sworn by all hollow perjury, killing that love which that house vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shape and love, misshapen in conduct of them both, like powder in a skirtless soldier's flask, is set afire by thine own ignorance, and now dismembered with thine own defense. What, rouse thee, man, thy Juliet is alive, for those dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt will kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The war that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings white upon thy back, happiness courts thee in her best way. But like a misbehaving sullen wench thou pourest upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was decreed. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But wilt thou stay not till the watch be set? For then thou canst not pass to Mantua, whereas thou shalt live, till we can find the time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 100,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming. Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear such good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My word, I'll take my weight and you will come. Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide. Here, sir, a wing she bid me give you, sir. Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late. Exit. How well my comfort is revived by this. Go hence, good night. And here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day, disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap that the chances here. Give me thy hand, 'tis late. Farewell. Good night. But that a joy calls out on me, it were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell. Exeunt. Scene 4, a room in Capuet's house. Enter Capuet, Lady Capuet, and Paris.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis well we wait. She'll not come down tonight, I promise you, but for your company, I would have been a bed an hour ago. These times of woe afford no man no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter. I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness. Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to ere you go to bed. Acquaint her ere of my son Paris's love, and bid her mark you me on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. Oh, Thursday would it be? On Thursday, tell her she will be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late. It may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we revel much. Therefore, we'll have a half-dozen friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday work tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. On Thursday it will be then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Whitestead's chamber. Oh, for me, it is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by. Good night.
Excellent. Scene 5. Capulet's orchard. Enter Romeo and Juliet above at the window. Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale. It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do waste the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die. Yon white is not daylight, I know it. It is some meteor that the sun exhales, to be to thee this night a torch-bearer, and white thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone. Let me be taken, let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon gray is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark, whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day. Oh, it is. Hie hence, begone away. It is the walk that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasant, pleasing sharps. Some say the walk makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the walk and worth tone change eyes. Oh, now I would have thee change voices too, since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Oh, now be gone, more white and white it glows. More white and white, more dark and dark our woes. Enter nurse to the chamber.
Madam.
Nurse?
Your waiting mother is coming up to your chamber. The day is woke. Be wary. Look about.
Exit. Then window, let day in, and let wife out. Farewell, farewell, one kiss and I'll descend. He goeth down. Art thou so gone? Love, ward, I, husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo. Farewell. I will admit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee. Oh, thinkst thou we shall ever meet again? I doubt it not, and all those words shall serve for sweeter discourses in all time to come. Oh, God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee, now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookest pale. And trust me, love,
In my eye, so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu. Exit. O fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who's that calls? Is it my waiting mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither? Enter Lady Capulet.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What, wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears?
And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit. Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss. Welcome, Gil Swamp Guy und friends. We are in the midst of a play. We're currently in Act 3, Scene 4 of Romeo and Juliet. So please stay quiet, take your seats, and enjoy the show. Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not for the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, cannot choose but to ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weeps not so much for his death as the villain lives which swatted him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain and he may be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of those mine hands would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fearst thou not, then weep no more. I'll send one in Mantua, where the same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he'll soon keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should upon receipt thereof soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that swatted him.
Find thou the means, I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectest not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee for a joyful bride.
Now, by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed ere he that should be my husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear, it shall be Romeo, whom I hate rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Well, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it to your hands.
Enter Capulet and nurse.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son it rains down white. How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears? Evermore showering? In one little body thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind. For still thine eyes, for which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark thy body is, sailing in the soul's flood. The winds thy sighs, who raging with thine tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her a decree? Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave. Soft. Take me with you, wife. How, will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her breast? Unworthy as she is she not that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom? Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud I can never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love. How now? Stop logic. What is this? Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, you baggage, you tallow face! Fie, what are you, mad? Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience to speak but a word. Hang thee, young baggage! Disobedient wretch! I tell thee what, get thee to church on Thursday, or never look at me in the face again. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child, but now I see this one is too much, and we have a curse in having her out on a idling. God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my ward, to rate her so. And why, my weighty wisdom? Hold your tongue. Good prudence. Smatter with your gossips. Go. I speak no treason. Oh, God, ye gooden. May not one speak? Peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity over a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not. You are too hot. God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, time, tide, work, play, alone in company, still my care had been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble patronage, of fair demences, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one thought would wish a man, and then to have a witched pulling fool, a whining mammoth in a fortune's tender to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot wed, I am too young, I pray you, pardon me. But as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use the jest. Thursday is near. Weigh your hand on my heart and advise, and you will be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you be not hang, beg, starve, die in the sweets, for by my soul, I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it. Thank you. I'll not be forsworn.
Exit.
That was intense. Her dad's very angry. Is there no pity in sitting in the clouds, sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet my mother, cast me not away, the way this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies. Talk not to me, for I'll speak not a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Exit.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, unless that husband sent me from heaven by weaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me, awake, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayst thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse. Faith, here it is. Romeo's banished, and all in the world nothing. That he dare never come back to challenge you, or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case that so stands now it doth, I think it best you married within the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishclout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, no so fair an eye as Paris hath. But true, my very heart, I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twas as good as he were.
as living here, and you of no use to him. Speakest thou from thy heart, and from my soul too, or else beshrew them both. Amen. What? Well, thou hast comforted me much marvelous. Go in, and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Warrence's cell, to make confession and to be absolved. Mary, I will. This is wisely done. Exit. Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend, is it more sin to wash me thus forsworn, or to dispatch my ward with that same tongue which she had praised with him, with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor, thou and be my bosom henceforth shall be twain. Alter the fire and know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die. Exit. Let's have a short intermission here. How's everybody doing? Are you all well? Whew, there was a lot to this play. And man, we are in the thick of it. Romeo is banished. Juliet is going to be married to Paris. That's no good. Intense stuff indeed. Thanks for the wait earlier, Keichin. I definitely have not had a chance to shout out everyone who's been waiting. So let me just go down the list. We've got Hikari Sentinel, Seven the Vampire, Sneaky Bale, Keichin, and Gil Swamp Guy. All y'all are awesome. Thanks so much for stopping in and bringing in your communities. Woo! I got some tea here. Bod Wade, finally. It's about time. I got some tea here. To help soothe my voice, but I think I might not have much of a voice after this stream. And let's see, we are on Act 4, which, as I recall, let me just double check that. We only have 8 more scenes. Oh, that's pretty good. We can do 8 more scenes. Easy stuff. Let's go. Do you like the background though? Look at it. It's actually the Globe Theater. I kind of like it. And I like this costume too. Ugh. Ugh. Just do a little stretch. A little. Move around, get up. Whew. I'm still trying to figure out how to use VLC Media Player as a proper playlist. And it looks like I figured it out. I don't know why it was throwing on random weird things there. It's supposed to be on playlist mode. Oh well. It seems to be working now. To all of you watching the VOD, there was no music. We're listening to Bach's cello suites. I guess if you wanted to start now, you could listen along with us. But yeah, they'll probably get hit by copyright at some point. So we're just going to keep it off the VOD. Sound good? Good. Whew. All right. Well, we haven't had anyone get any of the donation redeems yet. But we'll get into the most intense part of this play, Act 4. Act 4, where dreams go to die.
So, if you wanted to change something about the play, there's not that many characters left. So let's do it. 8 more scenes. Things are heating up. All right. Audience, dropping like flies. Yeah. We've already had 2 deaths. How many characters are even left that we name? But let's have quiet in the audience, please. Thank you. And let us continue on our tragic way. Act 4, Scene 1, Friar Lawrence's cell. Enter Friar Lawrence and Paris. On Thursday, sir, the time is very short. My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to stack his haste. You say you do not know the lady's mind, and even as the course, I lack it not. Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hates our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which, too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now you do know the reason of this haste. I would I knew not why I should be slowed. Look here, sir. Here comes the lady towards my cell. Enter Juliet. Happily met, my lady and my wife. That may be, sir, when I may be a wife. That must be, love, on Thursday next. What must shall be? Well, there's a certain text. Come you to make confession to this father? To answer that, I should confess to you. Well, do not deny him that you love me. I will confess to you that I love him. So will ye, I am sure, that you love me. If I do so, it will be more of a price being spoken behind your back than to your face. Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears. The tears have got small victory by that. The tears have got small victory by that, but it was bad enough before their spite. Thou wrongst it, more than tears than with that report. That is no slander, sir, which is the truth, and what I speak it to my face. Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it. It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass? My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone. God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early I will rouse thee. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss. Exit. Oh, shut the door, and once thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past cure, past help. Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It swains me to hear the past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prolong it. On Thursday, next be married to this county. Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart in Romeo's, thou our hands, and ere this heart by thee to Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another. This shall sway them both. Therefore, out of thy long experience time, give me some pleasant counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes and me this bloody knife shall play the umpire, arbitrating that which the commission of thy years and art could be to no issue of true honor being. Be not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speakst, speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperately as an execution, as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than to marry Count in Paris, thou hast the strength of will to sway thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame, that copers with death himself to escape of it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me weep rather than marry Paris from off battlements of yonder tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me work where serpents are, chain me with roaring bears, or shut me nightly in eternal house, or covered quite with dead men's waddling bones, with weaky shanks and yellow chapless skulls, or bid me go to a new-made grave, and hide me with a dead man in his shroud, things that to hear them told have made me tremble, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, book thou while alone. Let not thou nurse while with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor, drink thou off. When pleasantly through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thine lips and cheeks shall fade to paler ashes, thy eyes and windows fall. Whack death, when he shuts up the day of life. Each pot deprived of supple government shall stiff stock and cold appear whack death. And in this bald blackness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then wake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, where thou art dead, then, as the manner in our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all kindred of Capulets lie. And in the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Matuna, and this shall free thee from thy present shame. If no inconstant joy, no woman fearish, abate thy valor in the acting of it.
Give me, oh, tell me now of fear.
Hold, get you gone, be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Matua, with my letters to thy lord.
Love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
Exeunt.
Scene 2, Hall in Capulet's house.
Excuse me.
Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, nurse, and 2 serving men.
So many guests invite here as wit.
Exeunt first servant.
Sir, go and hire me 20 cunning cooks.
You shall have none ill, sir, or I'll try if they can nick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot wick his own fingers. Therefore he that cannot wick his fingers goes not with me.
Go, begone.
Exit second servant.
We shall be much unfurnished this time. What, is my daughter gone to file warrants?
Ah, forsooth.
Well, he shall may chance to do some good to her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she come from shrift with merry look. Enter Juliet.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Well, I have learnt me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy warrants to fall prostrate here, and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforth am I ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this done it up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful ward at Lawrence's cell, and gave him what becomed love I might, not step over the bounds of modesty.
Why, I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up, this is as it should be. Let me see the county. Aye, Mary. Go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now, for God, this reverend holy friar, our city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow? No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Go, nurse, go with her. We're to church tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Oh. Excellent Juliet and nurse. We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush, I will still about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go down to Juliet. Help to deco up. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. But oh, they are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare him against tomorrow. My heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl so proclaimed.
Excellent. Scene 3. Juliet's chamber. Enter Juliet and nurse. Aye, those attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which thou knowest is cross and full of sin. Enter Lady Capulet.
What, are you busy? Oh, need you my help?
No, madam. We have called such necessities as are behoveful to our state tomorrow, so please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you will have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Exeunt Lady Capulet and nurse. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear chills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again here to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? My dismal scene needs I must act alone. Come, Vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there.
Weighing down her dagger.
What if it be a poison which the friar subtly had ministered to have me dead? Lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before to Romeo. I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it very not like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for these many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night spirits resort. Awake, it is not that I so early waking with what woesome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught and violent with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this wage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, I come. This I do drink to thee. She falls upon the bed within the curtains. Scene 4. Hall in Lady Capulet's house. Enter Lady Capulet and nurse.
Hold, take these keys and fetch more spices, nurse.
They call for dates and quinces in the pastry. Enter Capulet.
Come, stir. The second cock hath crowed. The curfew bell hath rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Look to the baked meats, good Angelica. Spare not for the cost.
Go, you cock queen, go. Get you to bed. Faith, you'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
No, not a whit. What? I have watched down now all night for a worse cause, and ne'er been sick.
Aye, and you've been a mouse hunting your time, but I will watch you from such watching now. Exeunt Lady Capulet and nurse.
A jealous hood.
Enter 3 or 4 serving men with split logs and baskets.
Now, fellow, what's there?
Things for the cook, sir, but I know not what.
Make haste, make haste.
Exit first servant.
Sir, fetch Dwyer logs. Call Peter. He will show thee where they are. I have a head, sir, that I will find out logs, and never trouble Peter for the matter.
Exit.
Mass, and well said, a merry whoreson, ha! Thou shalt be wogger-headed. Good fate this day. The county will be here with music straight, for so he said he would. I hear him near. Nurse, wife, what ho, nurse, I say. Go waken Juliet. Go trim her up. I'll go and chat with Paris. Hi, make haste, make haste. The bridegroom is his. He is come already. Make haste, I say.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Juliet's chamber. Enter nurse.
Mistress, Juliet. Fast I want her, she. Why, lamb, why, waity, fee, why, you slug a bed. Why, love, I say, madam, sweetheart. Why, bride. What, not a word. You take your pennies with now. Sleep for a week up the next night, I warrant. The Count of Paris had set up his rest. That you shall rest but little. God forgive me, Mary, and amen, but how sound asleep she is. I must needs wake her. Madam, madam, madam. Hey, let the counter take you into your bed. He'll fright you up, your faith. Will it not be?
Undraws the curtains. Undraws the curtains.
What, dressed in your clothes? And down again, I must needs wake you. Lady, alas, help, my weight is dead. Oh, well, but day that I was ever born, some aquavita. Oh, my ward, my lady.
Enter Lady Capulet.
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day.
What's the matter?
Look,
Oh, heavy day. Oh, me, my child, my only wife. Revive, look up, I will die here with thee. Help, call help.
Enter Capulet. For shame! Bring Juliet forth. Her ward is come.
She's dead, deceased, she's dead. Oh, whack the day. She's dead.
Let me see her. Out! Alas! She's cold! Her blood is settled, her joints are stiff. Her life and these whips have long been separated. Death flies on her like a untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day! Oh, woeful time!
Death, that had taken her hence, make me aware, ties up my tongue, and will not let me speak. Enter Friar Lawrence and Paris with musicians. Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, son, the night had before the wedding day, at death lain with thy wife. There she was, flowers, she was deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law, death is my heir, my daughter he hath wedded. I will die and leave him all, wife living, all is death.
Oh, I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day, a most miserable hour, and ever time saw, in wasting labor of his pilgrimage. But one poor loving child, one thing to rejoice and solace in, and cruel death had catched it from my sight. Oh, woe, oh, woeful day, most lamentable day, most woeful day, that ever I did behold. Oh, day, oh, hateful day, never was so black a day as this. Oh, woeful day,
Beguiled, divorced, wronged, spitted, slain, most detestable death, by thee beguiled, by cruel thee quite overthrown. O love, O wife, not wife, but love in death.
Despised, distressed, hated, martyred, killed. Uncomfortable time, why camest thou now to murder our solemnity? Oh child, my soul, and not my child. Dead art thou, alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame. Confusions kills wives not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had in this fair maid, now heaven hath all, and all the better is it for the maid. Your part in her you could not keep from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you saw was her promotion, for 'twas your heaven that she should have be advanced, and weep ye now seeing she is advanced. Above the clouds as high as heaven itself, oh, in this love, your child so ill, that you one mad, seeing that she is well. She's not well married, that lives married long, but she's best married that dies married young. Dry up your tears, stick your rosemary on this fair course, as the custom is, for in her best way bear her to church. For though far nature bids us in lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things we ordained festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our instruments to melancholy bells. Our wedding cheer to a sad burial feast. Our solemn hymns to sullen dirges change. Our bridal flowers serve for a bridal course, and all things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam go with him. And go Sir Paris. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course into a grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will. Excellent Capulet, Lady Capulet, Paris, and fire warrants. Faith, may we put up our pipes and be gone? Honest good fellows, put up. For you, well, this is a pitiful case. I buy the troth, may be the case amended. Enter Peter. Musicians, heart's ease. And you will have me play live, heart's ease. Why heart's ease? Oh, musicians, because my heart itself prays, my heart is full of woe. Oh, play me some merry dump to comfort me. Not a dump, There's no time to play now. You will not then? No. I will then give it you soundly. What will you give us? No money on my faith but the Greek. I will give you the minstrel. Then I will give you the serving creature. Then I will lay the serving creature's dagger on your pate. I will carry no crotchets. I'll wee you. I'll fa you. Do you note me? And you wee us and you fa us. You note us. Pray you, put up your dagger and put out your wit. And then have at you with my wit. I will dry beat you with an iron wit and put up my iron dagger. Answer me like men. When whipping grief the heart doth wound, and doleful dumps the mind oppress, then music with a silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with a silver sound? What say you, Simon Catling? Merry sir, because silver hath a sweet sound. Pretty. What say you, Hugh Rebeck? I say silver sound, because musicians sound for silver. Pretty too. What say you, James Soundpost? Faith, I know not what to say. Oh, I cry you mercy, you are the singer. I will say for you, it is music with a silver sound because musicians have no gold for sounding. Then music with a silver sound will speedy help doth lend redress. Exit. What a pestilent knave is the same. Hang him, Jack. Come, we'll in here, tarry for the mourners and stay dinner. Excellent. You can kind of see why Peter, the character of Peter, is cut from most versions of this play. Just a weird afterthought character in the middle of all this trauma. Act 5. We're almost there. Only 3 scenes to go. But the last scene is always the longest scene. That's just how these things go. Scene 1. Mantua. A suite. Enter Romeo. If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's ward sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think. And breathed such wife with kisses in my lips, that I revived and was an emperor. Ah, me, how sweet is love itself possessed, when love's shadows are so rich in joy. Enter Balthazar, booted. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost not now bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I may ask again, for nothing can be ill, if she be well. Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sweeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her wade woe in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to it to tell you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did the weaving for my office, sir. Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my watching. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight. I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your works are pale and wild. I do import some misadventure. Tush, thou art deceived. Weave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar? No, my good ward. No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Exit Balthazar. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meager with his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones, and in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders and musty seeds, remnants of packthread and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Noting this penury, to myself I said, and if a man I did need a poison now, whose sale was present in death in Mantua, here there's a caitiff wretch would sell it him. Oh, the same thought did forewarn my need, and this same needy man should sell it to me. And as I remember, this should be the house. Being holiday, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho! Apothecary! Enter apothecary.
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, as such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the weary, life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath, as violently as hasty powder fired, doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's war is death to any that he utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thine cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thine eyes, contempt and beggary hangs upon thine back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's war, and the world affords no war to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold, worse poison to men's souls, doing more murders in this loathsome world than those poor compounds that thou mayest not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food, get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee. Exeunt. Scene 2. Friar warns his cell. Enter Friar John.
Holy Franciscan Friar, brother, ho.
Enter Friar Lawrence. This should be the same voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out on one of our order to associate me here in this city visiting the sick and fighting him. The searchers of the town, suspecting we were both in a house where the infectious pestilence had reigned, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so my speed to Mantua was there stayed.
Or who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful they were of infection.
Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, the weather was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Give me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Exit. Now must to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me that Romeo hath no notice of these accidents, but I will write into Mantua and keep her at my cell till poor Romeo come. poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb. Exit. Scene 3. A churchyard, in it a tomb belonging to the Capulets. Enter Paris and his page bearing flowers and a torch. Give me thy torch, boy, hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen, under yon yew trees wavy all along, holding thine ear close to the holy hollow ground. So shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm, and digging up with graves. But thou shalt hear it. Whistle to me then, as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee. Go. I'm almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard. Yet I will adventure. Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. O woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, with which sweet water nightly I will dew, or wanting that with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I for thee will keep, nightly will to strew thy grave and weep. The page whistles. The boy gives warning someone doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight? To cross my obsequies and true love's light. What a torch! Muffle me, night, a while. Retires. Enter Romeo and Balthazar, with a torch, mattock, etc. Give me that mattock and that wenching iron. Hold, take this sweater. Here, early in the morning, steed out to deliver it to my ward and father. Give me the light. Upon thy wife I charge thee. Whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious wing, a wing I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou jealous dost return to ply, and what further I shall intend to do, by heaven I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy whims. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the warring sea. I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you. So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that, live and be prosperous, and farewell, good farewell. For all its time I'll have me hereabout. His looks are fear, and his death and his intents are doubt. Retires. Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I am forced thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee more with food. Opens the tomb. Is that the banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin? With which grief it is supposed the fair creature died, and here is come to some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Comes forward. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die. I must indeed, and therefore come I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Wet them affright me. I beseech thee, youth. Put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone! By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter stay. A madman's mercy bade thee run away. I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy. They fight. Oh, Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch. Exits. Oh, I am slain. Falls. If thou be merciful, open the tomb and lay me with Juliet. Dies. In faith I will. Let me pursue this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble County Paris. What said my man when my betossed fool did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Did he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad? Hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so. Oh, give me thy hand, one wit with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lantern. Swatted youth, for here wise Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, why thou there, by a dead man interred, weighing Paris in the tomb? How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a whitening before death? How may I call this a whitening? O love, my wife, death, that hath sucked the honey from thy breath, hath thou no power yet upon thy beauty? Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thine lips and in thine cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with thy hand that cursed thy youth in twain, to sunder that that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Ah, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? I shall believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the ween abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour. For fear of that, I will stay with thee here, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here I will remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set my everlasting west, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look upon your wast. Arms, take your wast embrace, and whips, oh, you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot, now at once one on the dashing rocks, thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Winks. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die. Dies. Enter at the other side of the churchyard, Friar Lawrence, with a lantern, quo, and spade. St. Francis be my speed. How often I have my old feet stumble at waves. Who's there? Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well. Blitz be upon you. Tell me, my good friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern it burn in the capel's monument? It doth so, holy sir. There's my master, one that you love. Who's it? Romeo. How long has he been there? Full half an hour. Go with me to the vault. I dare not, sir. My master knows not what I am gone hence, and fearfully he did menace me with death if I did not stay to look on his intents. Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, I much fear some ill unlucky thing. As I did sleep under this yew tree here, I dreamt my master in another fought, and my master slew him. Romeo! Alack, what blood is this? Which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What means these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace? Enters the tomb. Romeo, oh pale, who else? What Paris too? And steeped in blood. Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs. Juliet wakes. Oh, comfortable friar, where's my ward? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where's my Romeo? Noises within. I hear some noise. Wait, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sweep. A greater power than we can contradict hath watered our intents. Come away. Thy husband in thy bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. Noise again. I dare no longer stay. Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. Exit Friar Lawrence. What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand? Poison, I see hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all, and left no friendly job to help me after? I will kiss thy lips. Happily doth some poison, yet doth hang upon them to make thy with a restorative. Kisses him. Thy lips are warm. First watchman.
Lead, boy, which way?
Yea, noise? Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger, snatching Romeo's dagger. This is thy sheath. Stabs herself. There rust and let me die. Falls on Romeo's body and dies. Enter Watch and the Page of Paris.
This is the place there, where the torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, whoever you find attached. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead. Who here hath lain these 2 days buried? Go tell the prince, one to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues. Some others search. We see the ground whereupon these woes do lie. But the true ground of all these piteous woes we can't without circumstance decry.
We enter some of the watch with Balthazar. Here's Romeo's man. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold them in safely till the prince come hither.
We enter some of the watch with Friar Lawrence. Here's the friar that trembles, sighs, and weeps. We took his mattock and his spade from him as he was coming from the churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
Enter the prince and attendants. What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest? Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, and others.
What should it be that they so shriek abroad? The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, some Paris, and all one with open outcry towards our monument.
What fear is this which startles our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warmed and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here is a friar, slaughtered upon Romeo's man, with instruments upon them fit to open the dead men's tombs.
Oh heavens! Oh wife, look how our daughter breathes! This dagger hath mistaken, for woe his house is empty on the back of Montague, and it mischieved in my daughter's bosom. Oh me, this sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to sepulchre.
Enter Montague and others. Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thine son and heir more early down. Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile had stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age? Look, and thou shalt see. Oh, woe untaught, what manners is this, to press before thy father to a grave? Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, their true descent, and then I will be general of your woes, and we do even to death. Meantime forbear, and let mischance slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion. I am the greatest, yet able to do the least, yet most suspected, as the time and place doth make me against of this direful murder. And yet here I stand both to impeach and purge myself condemned, and myself excused. Then say at once what thou dost know in this. I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as a tedious tale. Romeo, their dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, their dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and in their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doomsday, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed, and would have married her perforce to Count at Paris. Then she comes to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell, therefore, she would kill herself. Then I gave to her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which took so effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime, I writ to Romeo, that he should come hither as this dire night, to help to take her from bowel grave, being the time the potion's forces should sheath. But he which bore my wetter, Friar John, will stay by accident, and yesterday night returned my wetter back. Then all alone I came at the prefix hour of her waking. Came I to take her from her kindred vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell, till I could conveniently send her to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awakening, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her to come forth, and bear this work of heaven in patience, but then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she too desperate would not go with me. But as it seems, she did violence on herself. All this I know, and to marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed, some hour before his time, until unto the rigor of severest law. We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this? I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post came he from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This wetter he gave me we bid to his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault. I departed not, and left him there. Give me this wetter, I will look upon it. Where is the county's page that weighs the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by and by my master drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die, and why with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is weighed upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for I no more can demand.
But I can give thee more. I will raise a statue in pure gold, that while Verona is by that name known, there shall be no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his lady's eye, poor sacrifices to our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Not bad, not bad. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. And seriously, long ass final scene. That's how it goes in a tragedy. The last scene is where everybody dies. So it's got to be very long. We got Romeo dead, Juliet dead, Paris dead. At least that apothecary got paid, you know. But everybody else was like, I'm going to die too. Oh, thank you for the applause emotes. Emote only mode is off, by the way. Let's see. Applause sound effect. Thank you. Thank you. Can I bow? Can I curtsy? There we go. Oh my goodness. Well, I must say my voice is completely shot at this point. I'm going to drink a lot of water today and tea and be quiet. Be very quiet the rest of the day. Thank you all for stopping in. This was really fun. I love Shakespeare, and we didn't end up wasting any money, and that's okay. This was fun anyway, and I would do this again. Maybe we can bring in other people next time. Thanks for this amazing reading. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through and find some highlight clips. See if I can get the good parts to quip and maybe use in I don't know, future streams. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. As always, my name is Isaac Anzu, and I will see you next time. Farewell.
attack.